Welcome back to the program. If you're just joining us, this is the campaign edition of Choice 2017. And what a day to start this show, because we have two main political rallies happening simultaneously. One in Kakamega, that is by the Jubilee Alliance, and the other, of course, by NASA under the leadership of former Prime Minister Raila Odinga. So let's just take a look at what is at stake here as far as the two main counties is concerned, that of Kakamega and Meru. In the 2013 presidential results, President Uhuru Kenyatta got just 12,469 votes. That is just about 3% of the total votes cast. Raila Odinga came in first, of course, with 303,122. That is about 64, a whopping 64% there in Musalia Mudavadi, who is now part of the Pentagon. That is the NASA outfit. He got a total of 144,962. That is about 31% of the total votes cast. From those figures, you realize that Kakamega is an area that is should I say orange, because that is the color of ODM, but Jubilee, of course, are trying to change the situation there. And at the gubernatorial results, Wycliffe Oparanya, that is the current governor, got a total of 260,911 votes. That is about 56.01%. And the late Shitanda Soita came in second with 134,966. That is about 28.97%. But currently, the bullfighter, that is the current Senator Boni Khalwale, is going to be eyeing the same seat, that is the governor's seat, and is going to compete with his fellow member of the NASA outfit, that is Wycliffe Oparanya. And still in Kakamega County, the senatorial result, this is how it panned out. Boni Khalwale, who is now, of course, eyeing the governor's seat, got about 248,739 votes. That is 53.55% of total votes cast. Shakalanga Hwajirongo got 146,431. That is about 31.52% of the total votes cast. Clearly, Jubilee has its work cut out for them from these figures, because this is an area that is well known to have voted the opposition, that is in 2013. And speaking of Jubilee, earlier on in the day, Deputy President William Ruto, while in Kolomani, that is in Kakamega, had indicated clearly to the people there that they've spent the last 5 years out of government. So they're saying it's about time then the Kakamega people should join the government, and that is by voting in Jubilee. So let's listen in to what the Deputy President had to say exactly.
Aya, huyo mungwana shinali anatosha ama atoshi jameni? Mimi nataka niwaambie watu wa Ikolomani. Sawa sawa. Ikolomani zamani ilijulikana kwa mambo mengine ambayo mnajua. Lakini safari hii tukifanya kazi na huyu Shinali, tumesema tutabadilisha Ikolomani iwe ni ngome ya maendeleo. Barabara hii tulisema tutatengeneza, imetengenezwa. Haya mambo mengine mengi ambayo mumeitisha hapa, safari hii sisi tunasema hatutaki Shinali awe anatoka chama ingine. Tunataka Shinali awe ndani ya serikali. Mimi nataka niwaulize nyinyi watu wa Malinya na watu wa Ikolomani. Tumekuja hapa. Mnaona Uhuru Kenyatta yuko hapa. Mimi hasla jirani yenu, mimi niko hapa. Na tumekuja kuwaulizeni safari hii jameni. Tunataka kuunda serikali ya 2017 pamoja na nyinyi. Mtakubali safari hii tuunde serikali pamoja? Hebu niwaeleze ndugu zangu watu wa Malinya na watu wa Ikolomani. Sawa sawa.
Well, that's Deputy President William Ruto earlier on addressing people from Malinya in Ikolomani, that is in Kakamega County, telling them, well, you've been out of government for the last 5 years, so it's about time you join the government by voting in Jubilee. All this in a bid to consolidate support for the Jubilee Alliance, which from the figures I had already shown you on the video wall there, Jubilee had performed dismally in 2013, so it's something that they really want to change this time round. Let me just start with Mr. DG here. You've seen what the Deputy President has said. So they've come up with their, of course, campaign goodies. They've bailed out Mumias. Today they've added another 500 million shillings to pay farmers. So do you think all this will come in handy for Jubilee success come August?
I think it just, all of them came a little too late for Jubilee. You know what Jubilee is saying is that we are going to solve these problems. But then the question is, they have been in power for the last 5 years, and they have not managed to solve it. The issue of the sugar industry, for example, Mumias, has been in tatters for the last 5 years, probably even beyond, let me say. But obviously, in the last 5 years, it was troubled. They have pumped in, I think, close to 3 billion. Now they have added another 500 million. I do not see a solution. If the money that's being pumped there is again siphoned out through the back door, either to fund campaign funds or is being, mismanaged in other ways. So it's all an issue of mismanagement. And one of the biggest problems that Jubilee has, and unless it talks about how to resolve that, is the issue of corruption. In the 7 pillars of the NASA coalition, one of the most strong ones there is the issue of corruption, how to deal with it. So NASA has already stipulated clearly in its strategy, and the manifesto is going to be read out, I think, next Monday by Raila Odinga, is that we have to crack down and kill this dragon called devolution. Called corruption. If we don't get rid of it, whatever we do will have no meaning. And I think one of the biggest weaknesses that Jubilee has is how to deal with the issue of corruption. They are not coming out very strongly.
Do you agree with that? Because
there's an issue that he raised, and I have to talk about it.
Yeah.
In Kakamega County, Jubilee and Uhuru did very poorly.
In 2013,
in 2013. Actually, they got a 3%.
Yes.
Now, when you see what the Deputy President is doing, he's actually changing the tide. If I began by saying that in political campaigns, you'll have a lot of masses of people coming in.
Sure.
And if the masses we are seeing in the rally in Buhungu, in the rally in Ikolomani, is anything to go by, and given that the fact that they are relying on a song which actually originates from Bungoma, that things change, what Jubilee is saying, we are aware. The last election we got 3%, but things have changed. Look at the masses that are coming to support us, and they are rallying behind the issue of development.
But I thought we agreed that if people turn up for your rally, doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to translate into votes.
Exactly. What now will be important for Jubilee to do is to maintain this turnout and woo these voters and tell them to come and participate in an electoral process by voting. So that is the campaign, and that's what exactly they are doing. These goodies they are giving to bail out Mumias is very critical. But let me just correct...
So you think it's going to convince people to vote otherwise?
Definitely. And let me just correct the Deputy Governor here. Mumias' challenges of Mumias did not begin under the Jubilee administration. The challenges of Mumias, the bailouts that Mumias has gone through, began way before the Jubilee administration. Actually, the government, the Jubilee administration, inherited this Mumias bailout. So that's one of the things that the voters in Kakamega are very much aware about. They know that these challenges of Mumias are way before. They began before Jubilee.
It's not just Mumias. It seems so many sugar factories in Western Kenya have a problem. That's something we can discuss on another day.
Exactly.
But there's something very interesting going on here. It seems every speaker, one after the other from the NASA outfit, of course they're in Meru, it's an area known as a Jubilee stronghold. So if you look at their body language, it seems they don't want to hit President Uhuru Kenyatta directly, but they have opted to hit Ruto, saying that they're not going to, people should not vote for Uhuru because of his deputy, William Ruto.
I think...
is it a strategy that NASA has deployed?
One of the biggest liabilities the Jubilee administration has, and I think most people in Kenya today agree, is William Ruto. He has been offensive with regard to how he deals with the opposition leaders. He has been going all over the country, insulting other leaders. This has really raised, the dissent, particularly from the opposition side.
This is a man not so long ago was part of ODM, remember?
But part of ODM. So whatever reason that caused the fallout, right now the bitterness you can clearly see. And most of the challenges, when you go back to the Jubilee administration failures, one way or the other, it seems to be linked to him. So I think, therefore, he will be the easiest target, of course, for the opposition parties to attack the government. And definitely somebody has to be attacked. Whoever it's going to be, it has to be a target. There must be a target somewhere.
And this time they've chosen the deputy president clearly. Is it because they are in this sort of Mount Kenya region?
But politics have got no enemies and no
permanent
friends.
friends.
This we have to understand because Raila Odinga at one point chose deputy president to be his chief person in the last election, in the two elections before this. So there are no permanent enemies in this. But there's an outfit that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta goes for, and that's the outfit of one William Samoei Ruto. And that's a very eloquent person in terms of wooing the voters. And the only reason why, of course, is a ticket, the presidential campaign, a presidential ticket is two. It's the president and the deputy. And the only reason why, and so it's an outfit. And the only reason why Uhuru stuck with Ruto is the number of votes that Ruto will bring or is perceived to bring from his domain. He's a kingpin in Rift Valley, so speaking. So
Gulet just said it's a liability.
No, I don't think it's a liability. I don't think it's a liability. I think the issue is, and when you listen to William Ruto very well in the campaigns, just that has happened right now in either Shinyalu or Buhungu, he's saying, listen, NASA, don't attack me as a person. I am not in the ballot. I'm not going for the presidency. Wait for me in 2022 when you'll attack me. How brilliant can one turn a campaign against him by referring to future and not current?
But it's going to be in the ballot,
yes,
right?
It's going to be on the ballot. The nature of our election system now, as far as the Elections Act is concerned, is that the president and deputy president are both on the ballot.
Yes.
Their names will appear, and they are governing together.
With the pictures, right?
The deputy president picture will not appear, but the name will be there. The president's picture with his name and the deputy president's name will be on the ballot. So people choose. They either choose the deputy president or the president, but the ballot will be the same. But at the same time, these are two inseparable offices. They are, joined at the hip. Therefore, it has also been seen in the last 5 years or 4 years or so that William Ruto has been almost the one pulling the strings behind the scenes. And a lot of activities within Jubilee were being attributed to him. So, and that makes him even an easier target. So when he tries to distance himself from President Uhuru and say, do not attack me, in a way, he's causing a disadvantage actually to the president because what he's trying to suggest is that, look, if there are failures within Jubilee, it is not me. It is this other gentleman whom I'm going to run with. Yes. So does it show a kind of a division? I don't know. If you analyze it and read it between the lines.
Speaking of divisions, for the last, was it 1 week or two, the Jubilee had zeroed in on the North Rift and the South Rift region. These are areas known as, Jubilee areas, and basically they were out to solidify support. But when at some point the deputy president stood up and talked at some rally, I think it's in Bomet, if I'm not wrong, we've seen people, seriously not, reading from the same script with him. So does it mean he's losing a grip?
The nature of politics in this country is that, first of all, you identify yourself with a stronghold. Once you identify yourself with a stronghold, you go there on regular basis to be sure that it's with you. When you heard that song about things changing, actually things change in
Kakamega.
Politics. Yes, in Kakamega. Things change in politics. So we've seen, for example, the NASA spending most of the time in Mombasa to consolidate the vote in Mombasa because they believe Mombasa is their stronghold. When you look at William Ruto going to Bomet and being shouted at, you know that in Bomet is perceived to be the home turf of Isaac Ruto. Yes. And Isaac Ruto is in the NASA. So most likely, he came across supporters of Isaac Ruto, and they heckled him. Look at what happened in Budalangi, for example, where my friend Ababu Namwamba comes from. He could not even be given a chance to talk to the masses, and that is home turf. So things are changing. So you go back, you consolidate, you retreat, you think about the strategy again. So that's the nature of politics.
Yes. speaking about William Ruto, he's a person we can talk a lot about.
And you can't avoid it.
Yeah, of course, we can't avoid it. So the thing is this, with the current development, we've seen the shouting in Bomet.
Yes.
Of course, we're going to talk whether this kind of scenarios are going to leave him in some sort of a political rabbit hole. But before that, there is an issue that came up in Kakamega while President Uhuru Kenyatta was addressing the people there. And Bonakili had pointed it very clearly. That is an area that people really like the meal of ugali. And actually, they raised that question while President Uhuru Kenyatta was addressing them. Listen in.
Safari hiyo ingine, sisi tulikuwa msituni. Tulikuwa msituni wakitukimbiza huko, wakituambia sisi tutafungwa na wazungu. Wenyewe ndio walikuwa ndani ya serikali. Tuliwanyorosha, hatukuwanyorosha. Safari hii kweli mnafikiria hatutawanyorosha? Tutawanyorosha vile hamwezi kuambia. Tunaelewana wenzangu? Ndipo tunasema jameni, tutembee pamoja. Kwa sababu kama yale ambayo tumetenda na tumefanya nyinyi mkiwa nje ya serikali, nyinyi mkiwa mmepiga kura nje ya serikali. Balozi ndio huyo tumewapatia. PS Itemeres yametoka hapa tu. Kweli ama sio ukweli? Sasa kama mngekuwa ndani ya serikali tugawe pamoja, singekuwa hata zaidi. Jiulizeni barabara ambayo mnataka kutembea. Wenzetu tunawaomba kwa heshima, tembeeni na sisi tujenge Kenya pamoja. Tuache siasa ya ukabila, tuache siasa ya matusi, tuingiane kama Wakenya, tushirikiane, tupendane, tujenge nchi yetu pamoja. Ikolomani jameni, tutatembea pamoja? Tutatembea pamoja? Hebu nione kwa mikono ni wangapi wanasema ya kwamba safari hii tutatembea pamoja. Jameni, hiyo ndiyo haja yetu. Kenya moja, maendeleo kwa wote, tupambane na umaskini, tutafutie vijana wetu kazi, tuweze kumaliza yale shida ambayo tumekuwa nazo. Nini ingine jameni? Tutakuwa pamoja? Hapana, mimi nimesema mimi siingilii mtu, mimi nasema ukweli wangu, vile dunia ilivyo, nikiwaomba tuwe pamoja. Unga sisi tuliwaambia ya kwamba hiyo mambo tutanyorosha. Na tumeanza kunyorosha. Tuliwaambia ya kwamba tumekuwa na ukame katika taifa letu la Kenya. Na tukakuwa na upungufu ya mahindi. Hiyo hata nyinyi wenyewe, kwa sababu pia nyinyi ni wakulima mwajua hivyo. Na tukasema ya kwamba tutaleta unga kutoka nje na unga umeanza kuingia. Mahindi kutoka nje na umeanza kuingia. Tayari tumeweka bei ya unga shilingi 90. Unaelewana? No, kuna shortage. Sikilizeni mimi bana, sio tubishane. Tunaambiana vile ilivyo. Na bei tumeweka, lakini kuna shortage. Hiyo ndio ukweli. Lakini hiyo mahindi ambayo tumeagiza kutoka nje ikifika, mahindi itakuwa ya kutosha. Ile ambayo tunasema ni ya kwamba hata kama tuko na shortage wakati huu kwa hiyo bei ya chini, tunaambia wateja wetu na wale ambao wanauza kwa maduka, mkipata hiyo unga, msiwe mnalazimisha mwananchi ati kama unataka kununua mfuko ya unga lazima ununue vitu vingine. Mwananchi ako na haja na unga yake. Tunaelewana? Lakini mimi nataka niwahakikishie ya kwamba huo unga, hiyo mahindi ikifika, tutakuwa na unga wa kutosha na bei haitabadilika. Ile tuliwahakikishia ya 90 shillings per 2 kg pack, hiyo itakuweko na itafika. Ile tunawaomba, sisi hatutaki kupiga propaganda yake, lakini what I know ni ya kwamba kutakuwa na unga wa kutosha. Hiyo mahindi yote ambayo tumeagiza ikifika, iweze isiagwe na iweze ifikishwe kwa maduka yetu. Hapo katikati ni kuuliza wenye maduka, tafadhalini msikaze wananchi. Tumeelewana? Tumeelewana wenzangu? Ikolomani tutatembea pamoja? Tutatembea pamoja? Hebu nione tena ni wangapi wanasema ya kwamba safari hii tutatembea pamoja.
President Uhuru Kenyatta earlier on talking to the people of Ikolomani there, and he was trying to address the issues surrounding unga. Of course, it's something that we're going to talk about. And shortly, we're going to also play for you some critical sound bites from Meru. That is where former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, NASA leader, is still holed up. He was in Mikindori. Of course, we're going to play for you that shortly. Bonakili, clearly the unga factor is still real.
Yes, this is the western part of the
People
country.
are demanding, literally.
And that's where their staple food is ugali, unga. And that's what I will call the unga revolution in Kakamega, and in western generally. And they are saying, fine, you've done a lot. You've brought in the subsidized unga, the 90 shillings per packet, but it's not enough. And we want more. That's what they're saying, basically. And the president is coming out very well in terms of saying, listen, we've had challenges, and we'll bring more unga. He's promising more goodies. But some of these things, as I said earlier, the challenge of campaigning when you are an incumbent. Because some of these factors of unga debates and revolution might not be the government's making a lot. Because he's saying we've had drought. These are acts of God. And now that we're drought, we've had these challenges. But we've solved the challenge. We've done 1, 2, 3, and we will still do more. So I think the people of Kakamega went there to find out, are we going to get our subsidized unga, and is it going to be available, and are the price going to be the same?
I'd like to hear your comment on that.
Yes,
Did the government see this coming?
First of all, let me start from what the president said. There's a part of it that I found a bit intimidating, if I was a voter and listening to him in Kakamega, where he says, if you will have been part of this government, you will have gotten more. I think a sitting president is not supposed to say that. Because when you are a president, you are not a president of one section of the country, not a president of only those who voted for you, but you are a president for everybody, who, even those who didn't vote for you. And number two, when you talk about the issues of now unga, there's obviously a challenge. And I think the government has just failed, simply said. It has just simply failed, because we have now been shouting and singing this song for the last, I think, few months. And up to today, the shelves of the shops are empty. The prices have not really gone down. You know, nominally, maybe in fear, maybe they can reduce, but most of these are now sold, you know, below the underground.
Hold on to that thought, Bonadiji. Well, what you're seeing on the screen, there are live pictures coming to you all the way from Lare in Meru, where NASA leader Raila Odinga is currently addressing the people there.
Tumevuka na kufika saa 6 ya usiku, tumepita Jeriko, tumeingia Yerusalemu. Sawa? Mko tayari? Mko tayari? Tunataka Wakenya wote tuungane pamoja. Hii ndio sababu tumeunda hii chombo ya NASA. Hapa mtaambiwa na wale ambao wanataka kurudi Misri, wataambia nyinyi ati andowakwa andowamushie, tuungane pamoja, ati nyinyi na sisi ni kitu kimoja. Sawa?
Well, that is NASA leader Raila Odinga talking to the people of Lare there. We apologize for that technical hitch, but we'll go back right there. Actually, we're good to go. Let's go back to Lare.
Wanawake sasa atakuambia hii namna hiyo, lakini amekaa hapo miaka 4.5 na kuna chochote amefanya. Sivyo? Sisi kama wana NASA tuna mpango kambambe ya kubadilisha maisha ya Wakenya wote. Na hii sio mzaha, sio kama ile ahadi ya Jubilee ambayo iliambia nyinyi ati ndani ya siku 100 vijana wote watapata laptop katika shule. Ile laptop unaona? Ile laptop walisema ati vijana wote watapata kazi. Ati pale ambayo imeandikwa hakuna kazi, hiyo watabadilisha itaandikwa kuna kazi. Vijana mpata kazi, wakina mama mpata kazi. Walisema ati lami wataweka kilomita 10,000. Hiyo lami mnaona? iko hapa ilitengenezwa na nani? Na nani? Ile ileta nani hapa mfuasi, sio? Kuna mwingine asiseme. Ile kitu ambayo wanajivunia sasa ni ile reli aita SGR. Hata wamejenga reli ya kisasa kusafirisha watu kutoka Mombasa mpaka Nairobi. Hiyo SGR, sikia vizuri. Kufikiria SGR, conception, kuchora, design, feasibility study, survey, yote ilifanywa na serikali ya Kibaki na Raila. Sawa. Wao walipoingia ile kandarasi tulikuwa tumepeana, wakafuta, advertise tena, wakapeana kwa hiyo kandarasi, lakini bei ndio walipandisha zaidi ya bilioni 100. Sawa? Sawa. Lakini sasa wewe kama umepata bibi na mimba, ukamuoa, kwa mama yako akazaa, huyu mtoto ni yako? Mtoto ni yako? Si ya yule jamaa ambaye alitunga mimba, sio? Hii SGR, wale ambao walitunga mimba ni Kibaki na Raila. Uhuru na Ruto ni baba wa kambo, lakini baba mzazi Raila na Kibaki. Sawa? Hakuna kitu yoyote mpya ambao wamefanya wana Jubilee. Hawajafanya na hawatafanya hata wakikaa pale miaka 100. Ndio sababu tunasema dawa ni kuwapeleka nyumbani. Sawa? Sawa. Mwambie jamaa bye bye. Bye bye Jubilee. Bye bye Jubilee. Mungu alakanini na alipema peponi. Sasa sisi tumepigana nguvu na Jubilee. Tumejiona ya kwamba tuko na kura mingi kuwashinda. Eneo wale ambao wanaunga isi mkono zaidi kura ya milioni 10. Kwa tunasema 10 million strong. Semeni 10 million strong. 10 million strong. 10 million strong. 10 million strong. Sisi tuko tayari. Na nataka kuambia mimi siri. Mara hii hakuna ya kuibiwa kura tena. Sasa tumesema kila kituo ya kupiga kura nataka kuwa na watu 5. Watu 5 kila kituo, kila polling station. Watu ngapi? Mwenyekiti, katibu, mweka hazina, mama na kijana. Sawa? Sasa wakati ile tutawapatia register ya kila kituo, watu ambao wamesajilishwa pale. Sasa siku ya kura tunataka mnarauka alfajiri. Mnarauka alfajiri kabisa, hakuna kulala. Vijana na kina mama wanafuka pale mapema. Sasa wale maajenti watakuwa kule ndani. Kama mtu amepiga kura, tik. Amepiga, tik. Amepiga, tik. Amepiga. Kufika saa 3. Hiyo rekodi wanapeana nje. Alafu naangaliwa nani amepiga, fulani amepiga, fulani amepiga, fulani bado. Sasa vijana wanatuma nyumbani kwenda kutafuta wale ambao hawajapiga kura, waletwe pale watafanya nini? Hata mgonjwa yuko kwa hospitali, analetwa na ambulance, anapiga na arudishwa kwa hospitali. Hatutaki kura yote lale hata moja. Sawa. Nataka ikifika saa 12 Jubilee tayari wameenda nyumbani. Sasa kituo inafungwa. Sasa ile ambao wanafunga kituo, watu vijana wanasimama pale nje. Sasa ambao watu wangu wote wako kule ndani. Wanahesabu na tunahesabu. Sawa? Wanajumlisha, wanarusha, wanatangaza, tunatangaza. Sawa sawa. Mara hii mjinga merevuka. Wewe uko wapi? Wewe uko wapi? Sisi tunasema mara hii hakuna ya kubadilisha chochote. Sasa mambo ya unga, Jubilee wameshindwa, hawatafanya mpaka baada ya kura. Hii njaa ambayo iko ni artificial njaa, imesababishwa na Uhuru na Ruto. Hii ni njaa ya kusema kwa heri kwao. Walijua mahindi haikuwa ya kutosha, waliambiwa waagize mahindi kutoka nje, walikataa. Mwaka jana waliona Ruto kwa runinga akijigamba ati tuko na mahindi ya kutosha. Waliambiwa kuna mahindi ya kutosha. Sasa hiyo mahindi iko wapi? Iko wapi? Sasa hii ni njaa yao ambayo ilileta ati Wakenya kama wananjani watawapigia kura. Sawa sawa. Sisi tunaahidiwa Kenya, tukishika namna hii gharama ya maisha itarudi chini. Sawa. Bei ya unga itarudi wapi? Bei ya sukari itarudi wapi? Bei ya maziwa itarudi wapi? Nauli ya matatu itarudi wapi? Kodi ya nyumba itarudi wapi? Sawa. Karo ya shule tutafutilia mbali. Sawa. Na soko ya miraa tutapata. Sawa. Soko ya miraa tutapata. Waliambia nyinyi atameleta bilioni 1.1 ya kusaidia wakulima wa miraa. Umeona hiyo bilioni? Uliona hiyo bilioni? Wakasema wameweka task force. Hiyo task force umeona kazi yake? Umeona? Hamjaona na hamtaona hata mwaka 100. Kwa hivyo dawa ya Jubilee ni kuwapeleka wapi? Kuwapeleka wapi? Angependa piga kura NASA neno kwa mkono. Na wale wanapiga Jubilee wapi? Sasa tuko pamoja. Tunataka tuende pamoja. Tuende sambamba. Sawa. Waje niwapatie Weta asalimu nyinyi.
Well, that's NASA leader Raila Odinga addressing the people of Lare in Meru County there. It is a very interesting day, politically speaking. Jubilee are currently on the offensive in Kakamega as we are speaking, and NASA clearly and former Prime Minister Raila Odinga are having a field day in Meru. And you've seen the huge number of people who've turned up for Raila Odinga's rally. What does it really mean? Does it mean things have changed?
Yeah. When you compare what's happening in Lare, which is in Meru, and when you compare what's happening in Kakamega, the two, the Jubilee and the NASA, you see the crowd. And when huge crowds in Kakamega and huge crowds in Lare. And as I said before, numbers or population of people coming to rallies does not amount to anything until the 8th of August.
Yes,
so
that's
it can
when
be,
we're going to do a confirmation.
Yes, so it can be a very misleading thing. But what is important to note is that at least the opposition chief in the areas that are known to be not his strongholds, he's gaining ground. If you go by what you are seeing in terms of the numbers. And I think that Meru is also very dynamic. For me, I look at Meru as a fishing ground, a ground that can tilt the election completely. If you go by what you are seeing and indications that have been coming from Meru. So yes, things change. In politics, things change overnight. And remember the song that was being sung in Kakamega, the Bukusu song that was being sung in Kakamega. Actually, it's the only song that is sung by both the NASA and the Jubilee.
It is a common song.
It's a common song, things change.
Yeah, let me get your comment on this. There's the 10 million number that NASA has been brandishing around and everything. Where did you even get that number from in the first place?
Yusuf, one thing you should know that the voter registration as of now, before it's cleaned up, stands at around 1.9 million. So we have 1.9 million voters. If you look at it proportionally and push it up, simulated from the voters of 2013 proportionally and raise it up to today's figure, percentage-wise, vis-a-vis each party, comparing it again with regards to the strongholds. That's how that figure of 10 million comes. Remember, in 2013, the Code Coalition then lost partly, other than votes that have been stolen probably, but mainly also the strongholds people never turned out. Remember, for example, Nyanza, only 79% turned out vis-a-vis Central Kenya, which is a Jubilee stronghold, where over 85%, close to 90, turned out.
Yeah.
So when you look at it from that point of view, and you compare now and simulate it upwards, you realize that the 10 million figure is very credible. Probably
very briefly, before you react to that, we're almost out of time. You've seen people in Meru, they're very receptive. You know, they really augur well with former Prime Minister Raila Odinga. But you can't see any notable personality in terms of, you know, the candidates. You can't pinpoint like a certain candidate is very strong from the NASA coalition. So how will Raila make sure that he gets the much needed votes from Meru and he doesn't have the strong candidates in that county?
You know, that's one of the challenges of the current election. But at the point when he's in Meru, he's looking at the presidential vote.
Yeah,
that's his focus.
That is key ambition.
That's his
I think you've delivered your point.
Yes.
What do you have to say about that?
Yes, definitely. Meru is shifting. Our belief is that Meru has shifted already. It's not even shifting. It has already shifted. We could even see a 50-50 voting pattern in Meru.
In Meru County.
And where now the NASA coalition is relying on, we do not have probably strong candidates, but we have strong individuals who have come up in Meru County.
Thank you very much. I think you've delivered your point. There you go. Politics is about speculation, people say. So we will exactly know what the reality is all about once Kenyans go to the elections on the 8th of August this year, of course, 2017. And that wraps up for us on the first edition of the campaign edition right here on KTN News. Remember, this is your 2017 election headquarters, where you're, of course, going to get the whole story. My name is Yusuf Ibrahim on behalf of Lawyer Kissinger and Deputy Governor from Isiolo, Mohammed Gulaid. Thank you very much for staying with us. And until tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye-bye and enjoy the rest of your day.